Alex Eala reached her new career best number 31 WTA ranking, jumping 16 spots after a quarterfinal finish in the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis.
Alex Eala is rewriting the record books. And listen to this, she just soared to a career-high ranking of 31, jumping 16 spots in a single tournament. That is wild. But hold up, before we dive into the stats, let me say something real. There are moments in sports that feel bigger than the scoreboard. Moments when you are not just watching a match unfold, you are watching a competitor go to war. War against the player across the net. War against the whispers. War against the system that has not exactly rolled out the red carpet. And right now, in women's tennis, that fighter is Alex Eala. What is she pulling off? Nothing short of elite. Eala has once again made her presence felt in front of WTA officials who still seem hesitant to fully embrace her rise. But girl, she keeps delivering. And the Dubai Championship put her ceiling on full display. And if we're being honest, it feels like only a matter of time before the WTA has no choice but to recognize her as the real deal. In Dubai, Eala added another statement win by taking down Jasmine Paolini, who currently sits at number 8 in the WTA rankings. Paolini marked the third top 10 player Eala has beaten. On top of that victory over Paolini, she also handled Hailey Baptiste and Stramkova. All of those wins came with control and confidence until she eventually fell to world number 4 Coco Gauff. But even that loss does not erase what Eala established in Dubai. She proved she belongs in that arena. Anyone watching could feel it, and now the rankings back it up. And here's where it gets even crazier. Alex Eala is now the only female player in history to defeat a world number 2 and multiple Grand Slam champions like Madison Keys and Iga Swiatek before cracking the WTA top 20. That is massive for someone this young. She is meeting every test head-on, and in the process, she is silencing critics inside the WTA who still hesitate to give her full respect. That's not hype, that's history being written in real time.
Rankings on Monday, February 23rd. Eala defeated Hailey Baptiste, 2024 tournament champion Jasmine Paolini, and Sorana Cirstea in the WTA 1000 tournament.
Alex Eala made waves last year at the Miami Open, and girl, once she started shining, the entire WTA apparatus seemed to come for her. In the middle of her jaw-dropping run against Iga Swiatek, serving the best tennis of her life, something happened that you just can't ignore. Out of nowhere, an umpire suddenly flagged her for prohibited items on court. Think about that timing. She was on the verge of one of the biggest upsets in recent WTA history. The crowd was electric, fully behind her. Momentum was all hers. And in that exact moment, a controversy popped up that had zero to do with tennis, zero to do with skill, zero to do with the match itself. It felt intentional, like a strategic play to break her focus, to yank her out of her zone, to rattle a young player outperforming one of the sport's giants. The timing was too perfect to be random, and anyone watching felt it. You don't drop that kind of claim at a peak moment by accident. You just don't. But Eala, she didn't flinch, didn't falter, didn't let it shake her. She went right back and closed the match against Swiatek. Winning that set more than just gave her a victory, it sent a message. She showed she won't be stopped by shady tactics. But that win also revealed something deeper. She's not only facing her opponent across the net, she's also battling unfair scrutiny from WTA authorities, who seem unsettled by a Filipino rising from the ground up. And that wasn't even the only sketchy moment. Later, an umpire blew a line call, clearly wrong. The ball was in, obvious to anyone watching. When Eala challenged, instead of correcting the point, the umpire demanded a full replay. She should have had that point, no debate. The call was crystal clear, yet she had to fight for it again. Here's what makes her special. She didn't just roll with it. Calm, unwavering, she walked up to the chair umpire and said, "I know what you're doing." The confidence, the fire in her eyes, she wasn't backing down. She saw it, called it out, right there on the court. That moment, everything you need to know about Alex Eala as a competitor and as a person. And when things got extreme, the WTA even shoved her onto smaller courts at the Australian Open, trying to limit her thousands of fans from getting in. Fans who had traveled, who showed up, all there for her, and the WTA made sure the venue couldn't hold them. Big names noticed. Novak Djokovic called it out loud. According to him and others tracking closely, the WTA's handling of her match was a major factor in her early exit. And Djokovic didn't mince words. He said it clearly. The venue choice worked against Eala. In his words, Alex Eala is the greatest tennis player the Philippines has ever produced, and she deserves full respect. The WTA isn't giving her that. Their mismanagement played a part in her first-round exit at the Australian Open. When the greatest male player ever points a finger at an institution and calls it out, you do not just look away.
No, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. You know, there's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. You know, she's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's a big interest.
Jessica Pegula made it crystal clear that, in her eyes, Alex Eala isn't just some young player trying to find her place on tour. She is a bona fide rising star, no questions asked. Someone who has proven time and again that she belongs at the very top of this sport. Yet, somehow, the WTA doesn't seem to be recognizing her that way, and Pegula isn't staying silent about it. She brought up her own clash with Eala at the Miami Open. She remembered walking onto that court and being straight up shocked by the scene. The energy? Electric. The crowd? Massive, loud, and completely locked in on every single point. Pegula said it was insane. Not a complaint, more like awe. She was watching a young player who had already built a fan base most seasoned stars could only dream of. And yet, suddenly, the WTA puts her on tiny courts. Every sign points the same way. The WTA, they're not playing fair with Eala.
I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami, and I'm from there, and the whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where did these people come from? And then week after week, as she has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on too small of a court.
The picture that comes into focus here is uncomfortable, no doubt about it. It's a portrait of an institution that seems rattled by a young Filipino woman climbing too fast, earning too much love, and proving way too many people wrong. The racial undertones of what's happening are being openly discussed, and for good reason. When you connect the dots, the umpire calls, the tiny courts, the scheduling, it's hard to chalk it up to coincidence. But here's the thing about Alex Eala. None of it has slowed her down. In just 1 year, she's rocketed from number 100 to number 31 in the world. She's taken down some of the best players on the planet. She's shattered records no one else has touched. She's built a fan base that literally travels across the globe to see her play. And she's done all of this while navigating obstacles that most players don't even face. The WTA can put her on small courts. The umpires can make questionable calls. Critics and doubters can talk all they want, but the rankings don't lie. The results don't lie. And with legends like Novak Djokovic firmly backing her, it's crystal clear who's coming out on top. Alex Eala isn't just a tennis player, she's a movement. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.